All right, so Stingy Mama, basically it's in the key of A. And what Blind Boy Fuller does, he starts it out with this nice little intro, but the intro is basically almost the same as what he does throughout the verses. And we'll do a little bit more with that as we get going. But he starts off with this little chord here. Now, remember, we were doing this chord in relationship to the key of C. But now this chord also can be looked at as an A7. It has a G note and an E note, which an A7 does. Okay, we have the E note and the G note like this. And you can also have it like this. You can see an E note in there and a G note there. So in the key of A, this shape would be considered an A7. Now he plays it with triplets and then goes into eighth notes and a quarter. So we got... Now he moves it up, and you would think, well, if that's an A7, well, that would be a B7. But in this case, it's the 4 chord. So now this would be like a D chord here. And he moves that up and does the same timing. Moves it back to the A7. And just before he hits that last little note, he jumps over here and leads into an A. So that would sound like this. You got to jump right into that little, like an A flat, but he leads it into the A. So let's take a look at that measure here. We have an E note and a C sharp note, which is part of an A chord, an A major. He plays that with triplets, and then he's going to jump into his 6th string and then jump down to his 5th string, which takes us into the D7, or the next line. And I come right back, boom, boom, and I get right into the next line. And at that point, I'm going to be now playing a D7 chord, and I'm going to use my thumb to get the F sharp in there when I'm going to need it. And this is an important chord to learn, is a thumb like that. So it comes into the D7. Here's our next couple of measures in the 2nd line. There's a lot of little things going on in there. Lemon Jefferson was Blind Boy Fuller was really known for doubling up on that bass. And Blind Blake also did that too. Maybe he was influenced by Blake, we don't know. Gary Davis did it too. All 3 of them came from the Piedmont region, so we could say that little is very much a Piedmont type lick. But let's take a look at this slowly. We have the D7 measure, the first measure on the 2nd line. So let's take this slowly. We're starting out with the D7. I grab 3 strings here, and immediately I come up and grab that 3rd string with my index finger. So we have now my thumb grabs that F sharp note and then hit the G string. So we have, I'm going to hit the 5th string open and come back for a second and grab this A flat note, which leads us into the 2nd measure. So that first measure again slowly. Now into the 2nd measure. Oh, sorry. Now listen to this. He gets that little jumping bass in there. Listen to that again. That. You hear that little, that So that'll take a little practice, and the way you can grab something like that is take it slowly, just in a linear fashion. That's how I usually do it. You have this, there's the first beat, second beat, third beat, fourth beat, and getting right that open E into the A. So it sounds like, and here I'm going to get basically into this position at first, and then do a little single lick. That was very common also in Blind Boy Fuller's playing, as well as Gary Davis's playing. Now we're going to come into the next measure, which has 5 beats to it, like Lemon Jefferson would do. It's not so much thinking 4 beats to a measure. Here he's thinking he's going to be putting in one of his patented licks before going into the next chord. So it would sound like this. Leading into the E. So here it is slowly. Now. Now there's a couple of ways of doing that. Sometimes I'll slide with my first finger, and other times you could do this. So it's really up to you. Here it is again. Leading into our E7 chord. I'm just going to use my second finger here to play that chord, and then add my pinky in when I need it into that into the D note. So I have, let's look at that. Sorry. So now that bass is really kind of erratic that we have. So again, in a linear fashion, we're going to go. That takes us right into the D7. Well, I'm going to finger this not so much like this, but put my fingers down as I need them. Then I go into my E. So that. That takes us into our A. So listen to those 2 measures slowly. And then finally into our little bit of an A here, we get this. So notice how that is a nice resolution. But he doesn't end it there. He does a nice little lick. Listen to that measure very slowly. And then finally. So a lot of that little double thumb that's going on in this song, a great technique to really learn and get under your fingers. Now the way he ends the song is, let's take that. Again, let's just take that. It would be the third line. It goes from the E to the E7, the D9 to the E, but then skips immediately down, bypassing that little 1 you see, and then go right down. Basically, we're playing very similar lick here, but we're going to have our ending, which is going to sound like this. So it has a really nice little chromatic line in there that he uses as an ending. Work on this tune, because in the next segment we're going to transpose some of those Blind Lemon licks from C into the key of A. So hang on to your hats, because that's going to be fun.